books and so little time. I really need to read these books. So today I have collated for you, for your enjoyment and for my pain over 2022, a list of 10 books and 4 series that I really need to start reading in 2022. Why, you may ask, are these books in particular the ones that you have chosen for this list, you may ask? Well, there are 3 very important reasons that these books are on my list. Number 1, I am the last human on the whole entire planet to read them. Rudy, have you read that book? You have read that book. So even dogs have read that book before me. Reason number 2, they have been on my shelf so long, they are at serious risk of disintegration. And reason number 3, because I'm already planning on reading them next year, and so when I revisit this Vizier in 12 months' time, I will definitely have read at least some of them. And so with no further ado, follow me and we will talk about the books. So, book number 1. I know you're waiting with bated breath, so here it is. The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This book, pretty much everyone has read. Something to do with kids in Afghanistan, makes you cry. That's all I know. Oh, and it's set in 1975. I just read that on the cover. But yes, this one I really, really want to get to next year. I would really like to get to all Khaled Hosseini's work at some point or other. But this is the one I want to prioritise. So that is going on the list. Next up, we have Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. So this book, I believe, lacks punctuation, I have heard, and looking through, indeed that is correct. And this is about a collection of different women and their experience in the UK. I think it focuses predominantly on women of colour, and yeah, follows 12 different characters, and I think there's LGBTQ rep in here as well. So yeah, really keen to get to this. Beautiful cover and French flaps. If that's not a reason to pick up a book, I don't know what is. The next book on my list of books that everybody except Gemma has read that I want to read is a book on my Kindle, and I have mentioned it before and yet still haven't read it, and that is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is a psychological thriller where a woman goes missing and her husband is accused of a murder, I believe, but not all is as it seems. So yes, I will absolutely be trying to prioritise that one next year. The next book, maybe a bit of a stretch to say everyone has read it, but a lot of people who I rate their opinions have read it and said it is fabulous, and that is The Pull of the Stars by Donoghue. This is historical fiction set in Ireland in the time of the plague, and it is set in a maternity ward. It's supposed to be heartbreaking. Very keen to give this a go. I did give another one of Emma Donoghue's books a go a few years back, and that was The Wonder, which I thought was fine, but it didn't set my life on fire. My light on fire. You know what I'm trying to say. But it didn't do that. So hopefully The Pull of the Stars will be the one that makes me fall in love with Emma Donoghue. So the next couple of books I'm going to talk about are the ones that have been on my TBR so long that they have wrinkles. So we will start off with Incendiary by Cleave. This book I bought when I was a teenager, I think. I know what you're thinking, Gemma, you're only 21, so that was like 2 years ago, but in fact it was longer than that. So I do want to get to it. I don't know a huge amount about it. I think it's about a mother and son relationship. So yeah, we'll see. It is written by a male author, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays that from a mother's perspective. But yeah, it's not even that long, so it should be really, really achievable. But yeah, that one's on the TBR. Next up, we have another book that is on my Kindle, and that is Far From the Madding Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I read Tess of the D'Urbivilles a few years back, absolutely loved it, one of my favourite classics. So I've been meaning to pick up more Hardy ever since, and guess what? Shock horror, I haven't. So this one is being prioritised next year. And the next little collection of books in this list are ones that I think will be easily achievable for one reason or another. And so they should help me to achieve my goal, or at least achieve some of my goal if I read none of the other books that I've talked about. The first one that I want to mention is Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This is about a woman who works, unsurprisingly, in a convenience store. And she is very happy with her life, but other people think that she needs to strive for other things, marriage, kids, all that kind of governs. And she's like, nah, I'm fine in my little convenience store. This has had rave reviews. I've been meaning to get to it for ages, and it's a tiddler, so that's why it's going in this section of the video. The should be able to do that without too much stress and pressure. So yeah, this one is on the list. Next up, you may look at it and think, Gemma, that's not an easy read, but I have reasons, and that is Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. So yes, this is a chunky boy. This is 650-ish pages of Tudorness. For those that don't know, this is sort of focused around Oliver Cromwell, I believe. Thomas Cromwell? Oliver Cromwell? A Cromwell of some description. And sort of replaying history through his eyes, I believe. It's part of a trilogy. But the reason this book is on the list is because I am participating in a read-along of this trilogy, which is happening from January to the end of June, so 2 months per book, being hosted by the beautiful Emily over at Novel Novels. If you haven't checked her out, please go and check her out. I think Gemma may be co-hosting this. Editing Gemma here. No, it's not Gemma co-hosting this one. She's hosting a different one. The co-hosts for this are Blatantly Bookish and Hufflepuff Discoveries. I will link them all below. But yeah, really, really excited to get to this. I absolutely love the Tudors. If you saw my video on Tuesday, where I did the Three Musketeers tag, you'll know it is one of my favourite time periods. If you haven't seen that video, why not? So yes, this one is on the list. Then another tiddler to help me achieve my goals is Intimations by Zadie Smith. This is a collection of 6 essays based around sort of experiences through the pandemic, I believe. So I've been meaning to get to that for a while. It was on my non-fiction November TBR, but I didn't get to it. Can you see a theme? So yes, Intimations is going on the list. And then last, but by no means least, The Humans by Matt Haig. This is a book that I have on audio, and I picked it up when it was like on a buy one get one free or a £3 deal or something along those lines, and I just haven't got to it yet. But it's pretty short, it's only 8 hours on audio. I think it'd be quite light-hearted, easy listening, so I've popped that in the list as well. We're going to try that one, but I should manage that. I get through quite a decent amount of audiobooks, so that should be easy, right? Okay, now moving on to possibly the most important section of the video, series that I am going to complete or continue. So I have 3 series that I really want to finish. I want them done. I want them out of the way. I want them checked off my list. I want to be able to say, I've read that whole series. And those series are, number 1, the Brown Sisters trilogy. I read the first 2 of those this year and thought they were very funny, light-hearted. I like the first one, Get a Life Chloe Brown, more than the second one, which was Take a Hint Danny Brown. But I do have the third one, which is called At Your Age, Eve Brown, on my Kindle, ready to rock and roll. 1 book, and then I've finished another trilogy. Like I actually ever finish any series. But that should be easy to do, so I'm adding it. The next series that I really want to finish is the Daevabad trilogy. This starts with City of Brass, which I read a year ago. And I've been meaning to pick up the sequel to ever since. So there are 2 more books in this series. We have Kingdom of Copper and Empire of Gold. So these are all 500 plus-ish pages. So they're not short books, but they are quite fast reads. So it should be possible. And last but not least of the series that I want to finish is the Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemison. I read the 5th season in October and absolutely loved it. It blew my socks off. So I need to continue and read the next 2. The next one is the Obelisk Gate. I'm not sure what the 3rd one's called, but yes, I have been wanting to pick up the Obelisk Gate for a couple of months, but it's like in November and December, the 2 months since I read the first one. But I haven't picked it up yet. So those are the 3 series that I really want to finish next year. There are also some other series, some slightly longer series that I just want to continue with. I think it would be unrealistic to try and actually finish them. So those series are the Earth's Children series. So this is book number 2, The Valley of Horses. Book number 1 is Clan of the Cave Bear. These are written by Jean M. Auel, and there are 6 books in this series, and this is book 2. These are also quite large. They're all 500 plus pages, but not only are they 500 plus pages, but they're really densely packed, and they are slower reads than, say, the Daevabad trilogy. So I really would like to continue with this, at least reading this one, hopefully some more, but we will see. And the last one on the list, don't click away now, is The Storm Sister by Lucinda Riley. So this is the second in the 7 Sisters series. I read the first one of these over a year ago, but these books do, though they are linked because it's about the 7 sisters of a family, they are all individual stories pertaining to that specific sister. So it's not like I'm going to sort of forget like the plot or anything like that, but I really do want to continue them. Again, these are big boys. These are, I think these are 700-ish pages ago. Yeah. And this is, I think it's currently a 7-book series, but I think there's another one coming out this year with the story of the father. Unfortunately, Lucinda Riley did die last year. It was very sad. But I think she had created enough content for her son to pick up the rest of the last book. So it will eventually be an 8-book series. As I said, this is the second. I do have the 3rd and 4th on my shelf also. So yeah, hoping to get to these really soon as well. And yeah. Oh, I didn't actually tell you what it was about, did I? It's about 7 adopted sisters as they, after their father dies, they try to find out about their roots and their origins, where they came from. So the first book followed the first sister and she uncovered her roots in Brazil, and this is the Storm Sister, and she uncovers her roots in Norway. So it looks a bit snowy and cold, so maybe I should try and pick this up either at the beginning of the year or the end of the year when it's cold, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay, well that, guys, is that. Thank you very much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting. Let me know what books are on your lists this year of books that you really want to read. Have you read all of these books that I have not read? And I will be back with you tomorrow with another video, because I am filming every day between Christmas and New Year. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye.